Hey there, and welcome to our Troubadour Elemental Sling review. Here at Nomads Nation, we have been reviewing the world's best EDC and travel gear for the last 7 years. And in this video, I'm gonna tear this bag apart. We're gonna fully pack the bag out, double check its advertised capacity. I'm gonna give you my brutally honest pros and cons and overall scores. And you're definitely gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video, because if you're not quite sold that this is the sling for you, I will give you 2 alternative sling suggestions that you might like better, because here at Nomads Nation, our goal is to help you find the best bag for your needs. Let's talk about the overview of the Troubadour Elemental Sling. Troubadour is a British company, and they do really interesting stuff. I'll be honest, I don't adore all of their bags, but I always like the spirit behind their bags, particularly from a design and aesthetic perspective. Sometimes I think they drop the ball a bit more on the functionality, which is why I was really excited to test this sling, which is a part of their new Elemental collection. And this collection, along with their bags, is a little bit more, I don't know, I'd say kind of like fashion forward with a very lightweight build and overall design. Let me quickly run you through some of the bag's top features. I think the most noteworthy part of this sling is going to be its sort of asymmetrical, kind of half crescent design. And then the 2 different fabrics on the face of the bag, which kind of just gives it a bit more panache. We got a front stretchy pocket here, possibly ideal for water bottles. We've got a quick stash pocket on the side, possibly good for your phone. A bit of a tight main compartment with some internal organization. A harness strap that, it's got some things that I'm not quite crazy about. Kind of feels like an afterthought a little bit to me. I'll explain what I mean in the comfort section of this review. And then on the bottom, we have these 2 bungees, which just allow you to carry things externally on the bottom of the bag. But I can tell you already, this excess dangle is going to annoy the crap out of me. Now, Troubadour claims this sling is 3 liters in capacity, and if you appreciate us using the hardcore scientific gear, we always appreciate it if you can just show us some love by hitting the like button. Thank you very much. Quick note on the capacity of this bag, and really any bag that has a crescent shape like this, is there are pros and cons with that crescent shape. One pro is gonna be on the comfort side, but a con will be on the volume side, as it's hard to kind of fill these top corners. Quick dimensions check. A height of 6 inches. We've got a width of 12 inches and a fully packed out base depth of around 4.5 inches. And as you can see with the volume check, we are coming in at 3 liters capacity on the dot. As of recording, the Elemental Sling comes in 2 color options. You got the black, which I like, and the bronze, which I love. Oh, that color looks delicious. This is what the sling looks like when it's empty. And here you can see it fully packed out and worn of the Nomads Nation team. I'm 5'8" and Jason Bagboa is 6'2". And don't worry, we're gonna pack out the sling throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. All Troubadour bags are covered by their 5-year warranty, which by market standards isn't the best, but also not the worst. A lot of Troubadour's competitors offer lifetime guarantees. But again, 5 years, it's fairly confident coverage. And this sling runs around 100 to 130 USD, depending where in the world you are. For instance, right now it's 99 in the US, but 130 in Hong Kong. So it seems like it sort of varies depending on location. Now that price point is very important for us because it's going to kind of be our North Star moving forward to determine the value of this sling and whether or not it's worth it. But one thing to note is if at any point during this video you think it's worth it and you're gonna make a purchase or you just wanna find out more information, we highly suggest doing so with the first link in the description below. First reason why is that link makes sure that you get the best price. But the second reason is that we oftentimes have discount codes with the brands that we review. So if you wanna get the best price and get access to discount codes, first link is where you do it. Let's talk about the materials of the Troubadour Elemental Sling. I think for the price point, Troubadour did a very nice job with all the fabrics and materials we've got. This is their custom ripstop nylon that they just debuted. I'll be honest, it doesn't feel necessarily any more special than any more or other ripstops that I've tested. But you can see it's got a very interesting pattern to it that's sort of contributing to that fashion forward aesthetic that I was referring to. A ripstop nylon like this is going to be very abrasion resistant, like hence the rip stop part of the nylon. If there is a rip, it will stop thanks to all this reinforced stitching. And you'll notice too that the grid actually gives the bag a little bit of a highlight effect. And the thickness is a 210D, which is awesome. It helps to give the sling a very malleable and squishy kind of feel, which gives it better packability and better comfort. Now for the water bottle pocket, we've got this fabric right here, which I adore. This mesh was first introduced to the world via Challenge Sailcloth, a fabric maker from the States. But I've actually learned, and I'm like 98% positive, that Challenge doesn't make this fabric. They just have suppliers in China that make it and then they brand it themselves, which means that it's actually a lot more accessible and available to other brands than I thought. So this is the non-ultra version, but it feels and performs just as good. This is just a high quality, amazing fabric. that is a joy to use, and it's also very functional because it's the water bottle pocket, right? So it does give some elasticity. I just fucking love this fabric. Zippers are YKK. Verifying, yes, best zippers in the game, and they absolutely should be at this price point. Main compartment zipper is PU coated, which is gonna have pros and cons. On the pro side, this plastic coating will stop water from seeping through. But on the con side, like anything plastic, it can potentially peel over time, which will not mess with the functionality of the bag, but it will possibly look gross, possibly looking like this after a few years. Hardware is from NIFCO, which I've seen before. They don't quite have the reputation that like a Woojin, a Duraflex, or YKK hardware does. But I'm glad that it's at least a name brand as opposed to just a no-name hardware. And for the internal lining, also very nice, light gray, creates a high-vis effect inside the bag. I'm a little less jazzed up about the shoulder strap though. This is a coarser and kind of cheaper feeling nylon webbing, which at this price point, I'd expect something a little bit more luxurious, but I will admit, the more luxurious nylon webbings that are used on shoulder straps like this can be very silky, which is nice, but they can be a little they fall off the shoulder more easily, right? Or they don't stay in place as well. This nylon, while being a little lower quality, does have a coarseness to it, which gives it a little bit of grip when you're actually wearing it in sling mode. So while I don't love the quality of that fabric, I think that may have been a functional decision. It also may have been a cost-cutting decision. Can't tell for sure. And this metal hardware right here, it just feels like your average aluminum, not too expensive, but it does give the sling a little bit more of sort of an elevated look and feel. Overall, at the price point for my material score, I'm gonna give this sling a 4 out of 5. It's doing most things right, custom fabrics, awesome stretchy mesh, YKK zippers. Not in love with the choice of the nylon webbing for the shoulder strap, but more or less, it's just high quality materials across the board. Next up, let's pack out the Troubadour Elemental Sling. Now just for some quick scale, here are some larger gear items that will not fit in the Troubadour Sling. At least I don't think that they will. As you can see, your 13-inch iPad or tablet is gonna be too big. Average size tech pouch, not gonna fit. Switch with a case is gonna be a no-go. Close, but like we're not gonna get inside. 1 liter water bottle, just to show you what I mean, you know. Oof, no, yeah, that's gonna be a little too big. But our 24-ounce Columbia water bottle will actually fit inside quite nicely. And Sony over-the-ear headphones, can we get those in? You definitely can. Truthfully, a 3-liter sling like this is definitely more optimized for your smaller bits of gear. Let's kind of pack it all out and see how it fits. Starting with the main compartment, we have a zippered back pocket right here, which it goes all the way to the end, but this is a good showcase of one negative of this sling, and it's just how tight that main compartment is. And this is the case really for any crescent-shaped bag. The zippers just sort of pinch in the corners, and it just kind of makes access into this large compartment more challenging, which means that getting this back zipper open is actually quite annoying. But you can see in there, kind of, back zippered pocket. We're gonna throw a backup mask in there, some vitamin C, napkins. That's sort of like my medical pocket in the back. And then the only other organization are 2 sort of like meshy pockets here. Got a little bit of stretch and fake leather pull tabs. I'm gonna throw my gum in one, AirPods in the other, and then the space in the middle, throw my sunglasses, phone charger. Then, you know, I'm gonna put my wallet in the back zippered pocket with the meds just to give it a bit more security. Also, one thing to note about this sling that will irk a lot of people is there's no pocket on the back. A lot of modern slings have this pocket zippered right there. That's very safe and secure because it's against your body, but also very quickly accessible, making it the ideal spot for your wallet or if you're traveling for your boarding pass and passport. So not having that here will be a big con for a lot of people. So main compartment, pretty packed up. Where does the phone go, you might ask? Well, Troubadour has given us the pleasure of a little stash pocket right here on the side, which is great for your iPhone. This is the 17, slides right in there. Again, we're using a PU coated zipper, which again, I do not appreciate. It makes the zippers very sticky and particularly annoying on a zipper like this where it's very tiny and small. And also, shit, we got this rain flap here. which the zipper is now stuck in. So I wish Troubadour would have gone with either just the PU coating or just this cover right here, but they did both and it's just causing a lot of friction. So not my favorite design choice, but I will admit, grabbing your phone in this pocket is very easy and it can fit phones of different sizes. Now I haven't completely packed out the Sling. You can see there's still a little bit of extra space in the main compartment. That's because we gotta test out this exterior pocket here, which is marketed as the perfect spot for your water bottle, but that will depend on how the main compartment is packed out. So you can see my 24-ounce Columbia. We're gonna try and get this in here, and it's gonna work. But it's a small bag. Keep that in mind, right? So you can't expect it to fit your 1.5 liter Nalgene, or even in this case, with my 24-ounce Columbia, just the way that the bag's packed out, like this is not working very well. It's all over the place. The water bottle is not secure. But if we take some stuff out of the main compartment, like my glasses, and now we remove sort of, and then we can relocate the gum. And now we kind of make this side that the water bottle is on, you know, there's nothing there fighting for space. And I'll say it's gonna be a little bit better of a fit, definitely. Just a little bit more copacetic. This is the challenge as old as time, pockets fighting with each other for space. I gotta say though, even with this 24-ouncer, it just doesn't feel like the best fit, like it's still too big. I got a little 17-ouncer here, and I think that this is probably going to be an overall more satisfying fit. But even then, kind of keep in mind what we got going on here, guys. It's a small pocket right there. You can see we're dealing with around 4.5 inches of height, of which your average water bottle is 9 inches. You know, you're only really holding half your water bottle in the pocket. But if you're not keen on making this your hydration homie, then I think that this pocket's gonna give you a lot of versatility, as you can use it for your sunglasses or for your phone or for anything else really. Final note on the Packout for all you city rats out there like myself. I live in Hong Kong. It's the summer, it's very wet. You have to have one of these with you at all times. And these bottom lash points on the Elemental Sling accommodate an umbrella perfectly. It allows you to tighten it into place. Oh, and that's actually very secure. So everything that I said that I didn't like about the water bottle pocket, the external carry system is the opposite. It's doing great. It is very well connected. The bungees are very strong. The hardware, keeping it in place very nicely. This is a fantastic solution for an umbrella. You might be able to put like a small selfie stick under there as well if you're a videographer or influencer. Aside from that, maybe a small jacket. But the one thing I don't love about these that I mentioned earlier is that when there's nothing underneath, or even when there is something underneath, you're gonna get a lot of dangle. See right here? These dudes are just chilling. And in theory, you could maybe like tie them through here. I guess that kind of works, but there's no real built-in solution, which I'm gonna give props to Rework for their Toshi Sling, because they have a similar external lash point system at the bottom of their sling, but it can stow away with this very clever magnet-like flap system. It's a little bit extra for some people. For some of y'all out there, you're not gonna care about the little bit of extra kind of flopping around, but for me, this will annoy me. All right, next up, let's talk about the comfort of the Troubadour Elemental Sling. Guys, it's a sling, so we don't need to overthink it. Most slings that are 5 liters or less are gonna be cozy. And this is where the crescent shape really shines, in my opinion, because you can see how it sort of hugs the torso. It's not like a big old block. You've got this excess fabric point at the top, which kind of allows it to move with your body. So whether you're going in front sling mode or swinging it over to messenger mode on the side, wearing it on the back, it's very versatile from that perspective, and honestly, stupid comfortable. And that versatility is nice because like, I am an advocate of chest bags. Like I do love like a classic sling in the front, like the Bellroy Venture 2.5 liter, my favorite sling of all time. But it really only works here or here. This allows you to go into messenger mode, or like kind of like a mini messenger mode, which is a really nice way to carry a bag as well. Because you can kind of like rest your hand there and you're just kind of doing like one of these. I don't know, it just feels, it's nice. So that extra volume that you're missing out on, for me, is more than compensated by the comfort you get from this sling. But there might be some things about the comfort you might not like. Let's talk about them real fast. First up, like I said, the shoulder strap is not the highest quality, but it does give you a little bit extra grip. I'll give Troubadour props for that. Also, this just kind of feels like a cheap harness system for me. I mean, it's just like, they just threw the dangle stopper on there. I just feel like there could have been a bit more sophistication in terms of how this is executed. It really just kind of feels like they just like threw this thing on. Like, oh, we made a great bag. Like, oh, what about the shoulder strap? It's like, what do we have laying around? Yeah, just use that. On all of them? Like, yeah, just do it on all of them. That's just kind of what the execution of the shoulder strap feels like to me. But while I feel that way, I do want to emphasize it fucking works. The Troubadour boardroom may have cut some corners when it came to the shoulder strap design, but it gets the job done. Now let's give you max length. Max length of the shoulder strap, got around 45 inches. Shoulder strap adjustments are very simple and very quick. There's no real ventilation on the back panel, but at a sling this size, there doesn't really need to be. Which is why overall for comfort, I'm gonna give this thing a 4.5 out of 5. Nitpicks on the shoulder strap, don't love the dangle that's going on here, but this crescent shape, I'm telling you guys, I just reviewed the Alpaka, is it the Flow Satchel? Yeah, Flow Satchel. It's got sort of a similar vibe. It's much bigger, 3 times the size of this is a 10 liter. And it's got the same crescent shape, and it became my favorite messenger bag of all time. Like, we do our leaderboard video a couple times a year, at least once a year, where I pick my favorite bags in different bag categories, and I'm pretty sure that Flow Satchel is going to be my favorite messenger bag in the next leaderboard video, unless something beats it. This is not going to be my favorite sling necessarily, but I just dig the crescent shape. Not always from the aesthetic perspective, like I don't know how I feel about it stylistically, but like I can't deny it makes it extremely comfortable to wear, especially from that versatility from going here to here to here. I got ADHD, I just like to do that. You know, it just gives me something to do. Next up, let's talk about the functionality of the Troubadour Elemental Sling. And this is where the bag will get dinged on a few more points. Now that it's fully packed out, the main compartment is just a little tight to get into. This is the crescent shaped design. It happens, but it will irk many people. No back pocket. I just feel like having one there would have given the bag so much more versatility. When you're wearing the sling, the pocket right here is pretty easy to grab your phone. Obviously, if there's more junk or more gear in this bag, it will make it harder to pull in and, you know, take out, but you know, it works very nicely. Again, the zipper and that flap though, it can get stuck pretty bad. So that's a ding on the functionality. And the water bottle pocket, it does work as long as the sling isn't too packed out. That's not the sling's fault. It's 3 liters in size. You can't expect a big water bottle to fit, but if you got like a little 12 ouncer from the store, you know, if like a 7-Eleven, like a little bottle of water you want to put in there, then I think it's a very good pocket for that. The dangle will annoy me, but the umbrella slot was very good. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 on the functionality scale. And just to clarify, like anything 2.5 or under for me is like getting into bad territory. So 3.5, it's a very functional bag. Not quite elite, but very functional. Now, before we jump into the next section, I gotta tell you that if you're enjoying this breakdown, then I wanna welcome you again to Nomad's Nation and let you know that like epic gear breakdowns, that's what we do here, at least on our YouTube channel. Because you should know that we also have the Nomad's Nation newsletter, and we kind of take this whole gear breakdown in that newsletter to the next level. We've got over 11,000 gear lovers like yourself sign up to this newsletter. And what we do is just on a weekly basis, I'm bringing to your inbox the newest drops, limited edition releases, and industry trends for everything that's happening in this industry. So really, if you're just somebody who likes organization, likes good gear, and you're really into the world of like everyday carry and travel, this is the perfect newsletter for you. It's a one-of-a-kind offering. I'm super proud of it. And you can sign up by finding this globe emoji in the description below. Hope to see you in your inbox. Let's talk about the overall scores for the Troubadour Elemental Sling. On the value scale, honestly, the price difference is tough because 100 in USD, but 130 USD for the Hong Kong market. Let's just call it around 115 then. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. Warranty, a little weak by market standards. And maybe the pricing is slightly high for what you're getting, but overall, I think it's actually pretty good value. And for value though, like, value's in the eye of the beholder. This is a very unique offering with a very cool one-of-a-kind design, and it's quite functional in its own right. So for some people, like if you're looking for a sling that looks like this, you really only have Troubadour. So therefore the value kind of, goes up significantly. But for me, I'm gonna stick with 3.5 out of 5. Quick score recap. For materials, I give this sling a 4 out of 5. Comfort, 4.5 out of 5. Functionality, a 3.5 out of 5. Value, a 3.5 out of 5. For a total score of 3.8 out of 5. And yeah, that feels good to me. In the 3.5 to 4 range, I think it's a really great sling with a couple of quirks. And like my thing is like, I wouldn't wear this. Like, this is not my style. We don't really talk about like the aesthetic in these scoring systems, because to each their own, right? Like if you'll know if you like this. I do not like this aesthetically. It's just not my vibe. But from a functional, just objective perspective, it's a really great sling at a pretty fair price point, and I think that if you're digging it, you'll really like it. And just a reminder, if you are digging it and you're thinking about making a purchase, we do recommend doing so with the first link in the description, just because that makes sure you get the best price, and if we have any discount codes, that's where you'll find it. Let's summarize this entire review real fast by talking about the overall pros and cons. Pro number one, I think for a lot of people, it's just gonna be the uniqueness of the design. It's got a very cool, one-of-a-kind aesthetic. Pro number two is the functionality of the external bottom carry, especially for umbrellas. And pro number three is just gonna be the comfort of wearing the sling. That kind of crescent-y shaped design just means it works really well in front mode, side mode, and back mode. But on the flip side, all slings have cons. Here are three of mine. Con number one is gonna be the dangle with these bottom bungee cords. Con number two is gonna be zipper access, whether it's the PU coating on the main compartment or the small zipper here with the rain flap and the PU coating. Just sometimes the zippers, not always my favorite. And con number three, just a couple of underwhelming design choices in regards to the shoulder strap. Are there any pros and cons that we missed? If so, let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, let's talk about the alternatives to the Troubadour Elemental Sling. First up, if you are new to the Nomads Nation channel, you should definitely check out our leaderboard rankings video. In this video, myself and the rest of the Nomads Nation squad, we get together and we pick our favorite bags in different bag categories. It's a great way for you to see what the best options are in the market, and I've gone ahead and linked that above. Also, I want to let you know that here at Nomads Nation, after reviewing hundreds of the world's best bags, we actually decided to launch our own bag brand. That brand is called Firo. Firo lives for one purpose: to help modern professionals feel streamlined and focused. We've got our own everyday carry backpack, our own travel backpack, and our own ultimate sidekick of a sling. It's sleek, it's streamlined, it's got a couple of sneaky security features. And if you want to learn more about it or any of our bags at Firo, you can do so at firo.co or with the second link in the description. But if we're very close with the Elemental Sling, here are two suggestions that might get you a little bit closer. Alternative recommendation number one is going to be the Alpaka Flow Satchel. This bag comes in 2 liters, 4 liters, or 10 liters, and is really similar to the Elemental in terms of the entire design, but they do things kind of differently as well. You get some different color options, a couple of different functional pocket designs, and since this bag has been released, it's been very popular in the carry community. And my second alternative sling recommendation is going to be the Rework Toshi. This is a great pick for you if you were especially drawn to the Troubadour, less for its design, more for its functionality, especially when it comes to that bottom carry. The Rework Toshi is one of the most hyped slings in a long time, and for good reason. It's a functional fucking masterpiece. And the external carry on the bottom works just as good, if not a little bit better. It's a very different take in terms of the aesthetic and design, but it's definitely one of my favorite slings of all time. Honestly, all three slings are great. You just gotta pick the best one that suits your needs. And to learn more about the two alternatives, you can just go ahead and watch these videos right here. If you got any questions, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this review. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.